Hello and welcome to Mike's Garage. If you've already subscribed to our channel, thank you very much. If you haven't, please do. And when you do, be sure and tap on the little button for the notification bell. If you do that, then you'll be notified every time we put up a new video. I may drive you nuts too, I don't know. Anyway, nice of you to stop by. Anyway, let's see, where am I at here? You know, I had the 65 in here, and in our last video, I removed everything in the primary. That is, everything in the primary drive. And what Bill and I decided, Bill is the owner of this machine, is he'd like a nice stock setup so that the mousetrap works like it should. I take a lot of pride in the way mousetraps work. That's a very big thing with me. And believe me, a properly adjusted, properly operating mousetrap is one of the coolest things you could have on an old Harley because they work so well. They're easier to pull than the newest Harleys out there. They're just really wonderful, especially for an old mechanic with worn out hands. By the way, it's not really called a mousetrap in the service manual. It's called a clutch booster assembly. But we're not working with that today. What we're working with today is we're building a whole new clutch setup. So Bill said, let's do this thing all stock and nice. So I'll tell you where I went with it. I took everything apart, and I took the Pro clutch out of it, which is a beautiful unit, but not what we're using with the mousetrap. So when I took it out, that means I took it out of the clutch basket. That's about enough of that. The clutch basket was in pretty bad shape, so I had to get another one, and I found a good used one I'm real happy about.
That's
and
nice.
It is nice. It's got good bearing surfaces, and it's just exactly what we need. Anyway, so that's all washed and cleaned up, and I ordered a new clutch hub, all new clutch plates, and I forgot to order a new releasing disc, and I went out in my parts room, and believe it or not, oh, here it is. I had a brand new one from Harley Davidson, still sealed in a plastic bag.
Nice.
First time it's ever been opened. Now it's got a number 1 on it, so this must be from the what do you call it days? AMF days. But it's the same releasing disc that they used since 1941, and here it is, a brand new one with a perfectly flat surface, and it's going to be just dandy. So what I really wanted to show, it's hard to realize, actually it's not hard to realize, you just have to remember it. Today's manufacturing techniques are much different than manufacturing techniques were a long time ago. That's why you see so many old-time mechanics that you get so impressed with because they're putting things together and they're fitting it all. Well, with this stuff, it isn't that it needs to be fitted, except that once you get it and you realize it doesn't fit very well, then you say it just needs to be fitted. So basically, for example, this releasing disc. This was not made slowly. This was made quickly. I'm sure it was in a fixture that welded it, and all these holes got probably stamped all at once. Are they perfectly round? You know, when I put them on the new studs of this clutch hub, they were a little too tight. Well, that's kind of standard procedure on this old stuff. Now, you have to realize too, one manufacturer made this hub, another manufacturer made this plate, another manufacturer made the clutch basket. The plates here, the clutch plates that I ordered and I bought for this machine, they're made by somebody else. So when the manufacturing specifications are written and you have a measurement, say 3/8 of an inch, that means a 3/8 of an inch hole, it'll call out how much you're allowed to be off on it. Be plus or minus 1/1000th, 2/1000th, and if the same thing happened on these studs, then it's too tight on the studs. So in this case, what I did is I just took my little reamer here and I just went around these things real quick, this little hand reamer, and I could just take any burrs out of those holes that happen to be in there and just make sure that everything was good. I can do it from one side, then I can turn it around, do it on the other side, and that's exactly what I did. Anyway, you could do the same thing with a drill bit. I mean, this is just one way of approaching it. But I wanted to trial fit all these parts together. And then in our next video, we'll install it all. Here's the chain and the motor sprocket and the tensioner. So here is our clutch basket. And here is the new clutch hub. So I'm just going to assemble all of this off of the bike. Now these are the kind of keepers that Harley puts on these, and there's a couple of improvements I like to make on these things, so let me get on with it and I'll show it to you. These keepers are fun. But what they do is they hold this retainer here that holds the bearing on. So I'm just getting them out of the way. We're going to pull that retainer off too because we have a better retainer for it. Missed me. There we go. All right. Now we can take this retainer off and leave the bearing in place. Now if we take that bearing off, we're going to drop all those rollers out, and we don't want to do that. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to take the basket and I'm going to put it on there. Look at that. Isn't that fit nice? Look at that. Smooth and nice. It has, like I said, the bearing surface was what really bothered me about the old basket. Looked like it had been sitting somewhere and got rain in it or something. Okay, now this is a wonderful part. And can I have a pair of scissors over there? Thank you, Mark. Now what this does, there's nothing wrong with that bearing retainer that was on there. But this one is way better because it will keep the basket running true on this. Now, I don't think
that's the one
like we had on that other one.
Yep.
Okay, now let's see. I'm trying to hold this so that it can be seen. There's different depths of these holes.
Do that.
Can you show that?
Tilt it sideways, the other way. Tilt it, tilt it, tilt it. Now tilt it slowly backwards. Keep going. Beautiful. Got him.
Okay, what I want to show is here's an A position, and this hole is very deep. There's a B position, it's not very deep, and a C position, which is not very deep at all. What we're doing is there's a snap ring groove on the 3 adjuster studs. So looking at it, I'm thinking we may need to go all the way to a C position. See, right there. Okay. Let's see now. C, C, C. There we go. There's 3 holes between these 2 C's. Okay? And there it is. Okay, now it's just a plastic piece. So let's go like that. Okay. Now the plastic piece, oh there, it went further. And that's right, I got it right. Now if you can look in there and see it.
Yeah, I can see it on this one right
there. You can see the groove?
Yeah.
Okay, that's where these snap rings will go in.
Beautiful.
Okay?
Good job.
Well, yeah, we hit it right on the first one. It goes in the C position. And what that does is that keeps this basket from wobbling, which makes your clutch grab and be weird. And this is an invention from an old buddy of mine.
It's noisy.
Well, it's not a matter of noise, it grabs. It'll have the bike. It isn't a matter of noise. Okay, now let's see. Let's see if I can get that thing back off of there.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it'll be an oh boy. Okay.
You don't want any oil on those shafts, right?
No.
Okay.
No. Well, gee. There we go. That did it. Okay, so we know they're in the C position. And what we're going to do now is carefully lift this off of here. Okay? And now we'll put it back on. Because now we can put it on the bike. There's the C position again. We can put it on the bike all by itself. And the bearing's not going to fall off.
Okay, so say it's not all
Nope.
on.
It's on far enough. It's not going to fall off. Here. See?
Yeah, great.
Okay, so now we can put that on the bike without any problem at all. So the next thing is fitting
You
everything.
don't put the C-clips on now?
No, I'm not. I'm going to, when I put the basket on, then I will.
Okay.
So this will come off again for the final assembly. But what we've done now is we've got it to where we're not going to drop these, because when you drop them, there's 20 of them. And if you want to wash each one individually
And repack it, yeah.
and then re-grease it and put it back in there.
I get it.
Okay, but what we're doing now is we're going to check everything we've got. Now, needless to say, I've been over this stuff a little bit, and I know what things I found that were difficult. Now, I took a thread chaser. I have a new adjustment screw here. I took a thread chaser and ran it through the releasing disc, and I ran another chaser over the stud, and I got a new nut for here. Everything is beautiful in its own way. So, now we can try these plates, see what fits in here. Now, this is an early type clutch. The first thing in there is a fiber. And the next thing in there is a steel plate. It is marked out.
Yep.
And that makes sure that the buffers here are going in the right direction. Okay. Then comes the next fiber plate. And the next steel plate. Now, when I put this one in, it'll be in the same position out, but instead of going here, we rotate it one space so that the buffers never line up and hit each other
Nice.
when they're squashing together. Okay? All right, now we'll put in another fiber plate, and then we'll put in another steel.
That doesn't have to go. Oh, you did.
I did.
You did, yeah, okay.
See? All you're doing is staggering them.
Okay.
Got it? Yep. Okay, and here is what we call a half plate. This is what the earlies use. That's what this 65 here wants to use. Okay, now that we got all of that done, I think what we ought to do is build a releasing disc. We have a releasing disc, and I've been asked this question, I don't know how many times in the comment section. Well, you know, you always put this thing on here to hold the releasing disc together with all its springs, but what happens if it's all disassembled? Well, I think it's high time I showed what it's like when it's disassembled. Now, all these clutch plates came with new springs and all kinds of stuff here. But look at that. We just take those little springies And we'll just put them right around the little circle there. There's 10 of them. How do I know that? Here we go.
Because there's 10 holes?
I knew there was a reason I'd know that. Okay. So then we take and we put this, which is called the pressure plate.
And the pressure plate has
10 holes.
But it because it looks similar like that other plate you took off, except it has these bumps.
No, it's nothing like it.
Okay.
This is the pressure plate.
It doesn't have.
You're thinking of that bearing retainer we took off, which has 10 holes.
Holes, and the other one has dimples.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. Well, we're holding all those springs in place, and what'll happen here is the adjusting studs on the clutch hub will stick through those 3. But right now, we're going to stick this adjusting screw in here. Okay? Now, we're going to take that shovel head valve spring retainer. We're going to put it on there. And we're going to take this nut. We're going to put it right here.
I see what's going on.
Sure. It's not too tough. But I'd like, I've never broken it down to this simple, this is all of it. This is what it really is. Okay, now look at that. Son of a gun. Now what we'll do is we'll take this here Phillips screwdriver and we'll line up all those springs in there. Yeah?
Yeah.
That's pretty good, huh? Well, let's see, maybe this thing should be turned a little bit. Nah, it's all right. Then we'll take this, that looks like a 9/16. So we'll take it and we'll go like this.
Squish it.
Well, it makes it all nice and tight. So what we did is we put our whole assembly together here, our whole disc assembly. See? Like I said, I can line all these things up now. Okay. There it is. Okay. Then when we get this whole thing assembled, we will slide this right onto it. Again, count 3, find 3.
Ta-da!
And there it is. And that's exactly how it'll be on the bike. So now we have a whole clutch assembly that I'm pleased with. Like I said, I had to clean up these holes a little bit. Didn't bother me, didn't upset me, everything's fine. I've got this retainer that I know is going to work. I'm going to put a little grease on these rollers, just a little. Everybody's going to say what kind of grease. Just a little bit of bearing grease. You don't want to get carried away or it'll throw grease out the sides. And in our next video, we'll put it all on the bike. But at least now we have complete assemblies ready to go. We'll put the hub on first, and then we'll put the basket and the chain and the motor sprocket right onto that. And we may have to do a little bit of adjusting for depth. And I'll show you that one too when we get to that. Okay, so for now, other than that, I just want to say, let's see, what is the date today? The 9th, I think? I think this is June the 9th. 9th or 10th. I think it's the 9th. Born Free is coming up the 22nd and 23rd of this month.
Yes.
And if you don't come, I'm really sorry because it's going to be an awful lot of fun and I'd love to see you. Yep. So would Mike.
Yep.
Anyway, also, please do not forget we have t-shirts, and if you want to get a t-shirt, all you need to do is go to pacificmike.com, which is our website. pacificmike.com, in the upper right-hand corner, it says shirt store. You can go to the shirts and order one of these. I think they're pretty cool. So,
I'm gonna try to camp there.
okay, I might do the same thing. Hard to say.
You'll be invited to parties, I'm sure.
I have no idea. Anyway, until then, we'll see you out on the road.